Who do we play as in Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2? What is Vanessa's true story? Is William Afton finally back? What's going on, guys? And today I wanted to make a video to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 and the story that we know so far. So since this game has only just come out, some things might be a little bit off and, other details might change in the future. A lot of this is still speculation and theory like every other Five Nights at Freddy's game. So some things could be wrong. If I get anything wrong, I will update them in a pinned comment down below. But this is what we know so far. So first we get to see the same cutscene that we see at the beginning of Five Nights at Freddy's 6, where it's like a slideshow and Hand Unit talks us through what we'll be doing at this job and everything, except we see this on a projector in the middle of like an empty room. I think this is really cool, a really cool way to, kind of rehash it, but also show it in a different way. So that kind of sets the scene, this game is very like Five Nights at Freddy's 6 oriented. So yeah, this is how we start. And then once we get into the actual game, we find that we're in the Five Nights at Freddy's 6 location physically. So we saw this in Security Breach, but it was destroyed. But now we get to see it, in its former glory. Obviously, there's no animatronics except for Mystic Hippo, but that's like a separate thing. But it's really cool to actually physically see this location and, actually get to experience it and, kind of free roam in a Five Nights at Freddy's location in its prime. I think it's really cool. Anyway, after every minigame that you beat in this game, you get like a reward that you physically see in the normal like hub world. So sometimes it'll be a statue which you can view of like the models. But one of them grants you the Faz wrench that you have in Ruin, and then you can teleport around the room. So when you go over to this corner, it actually has one of the things from Ruin that you use the Faz wrench for. So you do that, and when you unlock this store, you can go in, and then we can see also from Ruin one of the I think it's like a transmitter type thing for the mask, and you shut that down and then you can take the Vanny mask off. So this reveal is massive, and when you take it off, it turns out we're still in the same building from Ruin, and it is destroyed, it's all gone, and it was the mask you had on the whole time was making it look like it kind of did in its prime. So this is what we're actually experiencing, and it's still ruined, and it's exactly how it was in Ruin and in Security Breach. It's got the huge hole that you go down, and it's got everything tipped over, trash everywhere, deep underground. So this is where it gets kind of confusing, because the mask would make you think like, oh, you're playing as Cassie because she had the mask. But also in Ruin, it's revealed that those masks are used by people working at the mega pizzaplex, right? So what could this mean? Could you be playing as Cassie, or could you be playing as her dad, is what a lot of people are theorizing, because her dad is mentioned to have worked in the pizzaplex, and so it would make sense for him to use one of these masks. So the main theory at the moment is that we play as Cassie's dad or Cassie herself. It could be either. This is kind of where a lot of the theory takes over, who are we playing as, which one's which. Let me know down below who you guys think we're playing as. But yeah, so the mask is off, and this unlocks a harder mode in the game. So we play through that with the mask off. So once you've beaten the normal mini games with the mask on, and then the harder ones with the mask off, you get the final. There's like these little Freddy toys. They're really cute actually. And once you unlock all of those, it'll grant you this massive present. And once you open that, it teleports you to the game's ending. So basically, there's one of the charging pods from normal Security Breach, and we can see no one other than Glitchtrap. It's Glitchtrap's arm. He comes out, and then he disappears, but reappears as these nightmare staff bots. And then they go up to you, fades to black. And then when we fade back in, we actually get a mini cutscene where you play as the staff bot from Ruin, giving Cassie the mask. So this has confused a lot of people, but this is what everyone's pretty sure is what it is that it's basically saying that Glitchtrap is the mimic. And so Glitchtrap is basically coming out and then turning back into the staff pods. So this is all still him, and then the staff pod that you play as is still him. So it's saying that in Ruin, you know, when you get given the mask, it isn't just like by chance, or it isn't framed as like, oh, you know, they do this to everyone. No, this is actively the Mimic luring Cassie in by giving her the mask. So he can put the implant in and, you know, lure her down and try and kill her and all that. And this also means that Springtrap from Security Breach is also the Mimic. It's basically trying to say that the Mimic is like an entity that can, well, you know, it's in his name, Mimic, and turn into other things. And it's saying that Glitchtrap is also that. This is what it's trying to explain with this little cutscene, is that it's always the Mimic, always been the Mimic. It's not actually William Afton. So I imagine some people will be really disappointed by this, finding out that it's not actually William Afton. If you're one of those people, I am sorry, because it would have been really cool to have, you know, William Afton back, but also at the same time, it's like, you know, dude needs to stay dead. Like, he's been around for centuries. So yeah, this is a pretty cool reveal. It was a big kind of speculation with a lot of fans, but now that it's kind of, you know, officially been confirmed, it's really awesome. And I'm really happy to see it. So yeah, but this is not the main ending. There is a secret ending. So in the mini games, there's various tasks you can do the wrong way intentionally. So for example, in Bonkabon, the harder one, when you have to put these things in the numbers, if you do it the other way around, so the numbers back to front, Glitchtrap's arm will appear and grant you this little plushie. So it's like a doll, but then it has, you know, there's Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy, and the puppets' faces on them. So it's like, I'll do a separate video on how to get all of these, but basically you have to do like really like things backwards, or just really particular sequences, you know, nothing new for Five Nights at Freddy's, of these things to get Glitchtrap's arm to appear and grant you the plushie. So once you have all of these plushies, you can get all the coins. It's like the first help wanted. All the coins are like spread throughout the games, you know, like under books or whatever. So once you have all of those, you can use them to get Candy Cadet to tell his story. Once Candy Cadet has told his full story, you can go over to Mystic Hippo, and she grants you this like special purple coin. You take this purple coin into the back room where you took off the mask, where there is a Princess Quest cabinet. So for anyone who knows, you know, Vanny, Vanessa's story, you know that Princess Quest is very heavily like intertwined with that. So you can use that coin to activate it and actually play Princess Quest. It's really cool. Like, you physically, you know, because it's VR, you use your hands to play with the joystick and all that. It's really cool. So once you do that, you get to a certain point where it's the actual arcade cabinet. And then when you go up to that, this is crazy, but it transports you into the game, and you play Princess Quest like in the game. It's awesome. It looks really cool. It's like 3D pixel kind of. You can tell a lot of work went into it. And yeah, it's really cool. So anyway, you traverse that again, and then you get to this point where you have to light up the torches that have the plushies on them. So you can't do this without the plushies. You have to get the plushies. Once you do that, you go to the end of the corridor, and it's the old man who's always in the Princess Quest games. And basically what happens here is you take the green, you know, like William Afton-y plushie. I'm still not 100% sure what this signifies, but I think it's meant to be, you know, Glitchtrap as an entity you give to the old man, and the old man says it was a worthy, it was a fair trade or something like that, and you give him the Vanny mask, I think, or he gives you it. I'm not sure. This bit's still like pretty convoluted, but anyway, you trade, and then the door opens, and it's a sister location bunker. So then you go into this, and then the bunker leads into this giant claw machine with none other than Vanny playing it. So Vanny is like enormous, you're tiny. And then Moon comes over and he takes the plushie from you and gives it to Vanny. So he drops it down, Vanny picks it up, how when you beat games in this, you pick up the little toy. And then, so here we can see Glitchtrap in Vanny's hand, and she kills him. This is insane. So I think what this is meant to signify is kind of how, when it all started, it was Glitchtrap taking over Vanny, taking over her like soul and making her do all his dirty work and kill people and everything. But now she's taking back her control by killing him. So I think this is really cool. So what does this mean for her character? I'm not 100% sure, but what I theorize is that this is prior to Ruin, and so once that was done is when Gregory and Vanessa teamed up to try and stop the Mimic in Ruin, because when we play Ruin we can see that Gregory and Vanny have tried to keep the Mimic down there. So this could be what led them to team up, which I think is really interesting. But yeah, I think this means that William Afton Mimic is like dead for now, but we still have Vanny to worry about. She could be evil, she could be bad. I think this opens a lot of doors for the whatever's next for the franchise, and it's really exciting. But yeah, so what do you guys think? What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think of it? There's also a Bonnie mask you can find. I might make a separate video on this. People theorize that you could be playing as this guy from the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 games, because this is set in like 1987, and then Ruin is set in, not Ruin, Help Wanted 2, all of that is set in like the 2030s, so it could make sense that he'd be, a lot older and have kids, that being Cassie, so you could be, the father, or, some people think you might be playing as a staff bot the whole game because of the temporary part where you're in a staff bot's point of view, but I think that's more just meant to show that you're the Mimic. But yeah, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Make sure to leave a comment down below, and while you're at it, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, I've got more Help Wanted 2 videos on the way, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Like and subscribe, and have a great day.